Welcome to Tangawizi at 1. It's been 12 months of amazing conversations, and we just want to indulge you in a couple of reflections.
Yes. By now, I believe you should be knowing our names.
Imagine.
By now, right? I mean, we should be
Yeah.
regulars at your living room, on YouTube,
Phone
on your phone,
there's
on
no
your
phone room.
TikTok.
Yeah.
So my name is Dorsila.
Yeah, and my name is still Caroline.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we just want to take you through the journey of where this all began. And we'll just, reflect
on just the topics that we've covered within the 12 months that we've been putting content out. And we also want to also reflect on how this content has been received by you, our listeners and viewers, and also reflect as well on what we are also noticing about our identity, number one, as Kenyans.
How we presenting
our thought processes on certain topics, because we realize that actually, no, we don't think alike.
Yep.
Everyone has their own perspectives, and we love that you engage with the content.
Yeah. All right. So, in the beginning, it's sounding like Genesis.
Yes, that's where we are starting.
In the beginning, I would say the 3 conversations that we had were generally around the different generations.
Yeah.
So we had Mark, who was, awesome enough to say, let's do it. And he was just, here to share with us how identity development across the lifespan looks like for him as a male individual. And I don't remember, was Mark a millennium or a Gen Z?
Mark, I think, is probably a Gen Z.
A Gen Z.
Yeah, the way I'm seeing it. But we could be wrong, Mark. Please clarify in the comment section.
I think he comes across to me as a millennial. Let me choose to. Yes. So we had Mark come on, and I think what stuck with me in that conversation was how the parenting style of his parents, particularly his dad, and just how the dad allowed him to just go through the different phases that he was going through.
I remember the part where he talked about his hair. Can you believe Mark had long? Was it dreadlocks? I don't know. He was plaiting his hair. I'm like, Mark, who is that? I've never experienced him like that.
And the fact that his parents allowed him and also reconciled the fact that it's just
it's a phase, yeah.
Yeah, it was really good to see that and to show that parenting plays a very important role, even as young people continue to understand.
Yeah. So true. And I also want to just thank Mark, because this was our very first episode and we were all sweating.
Sweating or sweating?
Right? We were all sweating, but I do believe he was really able to bring out his identity through his lived experiences as a young person, as a man as well, and to shed light on the issues also, even on just sharing and opening up, and how he was brought up. Those are not things that really were centered. It wasn't conscious parenting the way we see it today. We are doing intentional parenting, but I hear people say that parenting is also not one size fits all.
Yeah, not even, you can be raised in the same household, but
different experiences.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it was really good. And for those 400 and something people who took their time to listen to that, we thank you.
We appreciate
you. Yeah, and it took a lot to shoot that one.
That episode, right?
Yeah. And then the person that came next,
Malaika Fiery.
No, wait, that's Njuguna.
Njuguna came next.
Njuguna was next.
Oh, I love Njuguna.
Yeah.
First of all, he gives me very fatherly vibes and energies, and I really appreciate it when I experience that, because I am a complete daddy's girl.
Wow.
Even his energy in the room just centered me and grounded me, because I was like, I can learn from this man. And even just, he's such a storyteller as well. So I also really appreciated that from him. And I also loved the cultural aspect that he was able to also bring forth, which maybe today we don't center that at all.
At all. And you see, we learn about our history. But for me, sitting with Njuguna and, you know, him taking us through how the colonial or post-colonial time and the experiences, I was so humble. I was so humbled to like, wow.
It definitely humanized that experience, because we get to hear about it and we're like, we judge these people so much. But imagine living during those times and the pressures that were there at that time and how they chose to navigate. Because either way, they chose to navigate those times the same way we are choosing to navigate these times with the challenges that present themselves today. So actually, it offered a lot of perspective and empathy.
And the power of play is what I liked the most from that episode. Kwanza na matope one. You remember it was like a murky swamp that they used to
you know, that's why I put my hands down, because what? Why is that fun?
I mean, for me, I was like, and I think if we let our children play with mud, they would become better people, you know?
Indeed. Like, play with what is around you, you know, because it shows that they're observing the environment and they're choosing, like, let's play with this, let's explore. So that was interesting and lovely to hear. I loved the art aspect that came through, because he really spoke about art and theaters. Yeah, things we didn't think existed at that time. So it was so beautiful to hear that, you know, he looked forward to going to the theater and watching plays and having those plays being produced and all of that. So that was exciting. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Njuguna. And then we moved on to Malaika.
Malaika, fairy Malaika.
Fairy Gen Z. And I was there. I was like, school me. School me, or master.
Teach me your ways. First of all, Malaika I love how she is very expressful. I feel like everything about her just comes out as she expresses herself through how she shows up, one, her style, and then now her voice. You know, she will just tell you, this is what I think, and it is what it is. And I'm sure even the parents are copying.
No, the parents have done well.
And they're proud.
Yeah, the parents have done well. And, you know, just sitting there and listening to Malaika, for me, it also ignited the fact that all these generations have a lot of similarities.
That's true.
Like, there are fires she's sparking me. We are from different generations, but I was like, I'm digging that. I'm digging that energy. I'm digging that energy. Yeah. So, I mean, it gave me a lot of kind of trust that all these generations have the best intentions.
That's true.
All of them.
I think one thing that came out to us with this intergenerational conversation is not really how different they are. I was so shocked by how similar. We are just similar in how we embody our values, in how we identify. I think even during the protests, you know, it was like, you know, these boomers are disappointing us. You know, they don't know what it means to fight for something you believe in. But actually, when you have a conversation, you realize they fought during that time.
And they fought in their style. And in their methodology and whatever.
And the way that made sense to them, you know. So it was wonderful.
It was really good. And then we moved now to the African vibe.
Yes.
You know, that was a personal favorite.
It was.
But the viewers did not confirm. If you were looking at viewership, they did not think the same. But nonetheless, they'll catch up.
This
we
was
moved to Dikeledi.
Dr. Dikeledi.
Hey,
Daktari.
Hats off.
First of all, I love her energy and how bubbly she is. And those I would say, learned people that don't intimidate you. And they share their knowledge and their wisdom openly and freely. So I was really able to just appreciate my Africanness just from her sharing, and just listen to her and be like, actually, you make a lot of sense, you know?
And how lucky can we be that we got to do that twice?
Imagine.
You remember we had the first
online? Yes.
And then the universe was so kind. Dr. Dikeledi is in Nairobi.
It's in Nairobi.
We're like,
yes.
we need this in person. And she was gracious enough to say, hey, let's have this conversation. And she did put a lot of light for me particularly on the naming of our children, I was like, we need to go back to our roots so that we can take some processes, we can take some practices more seriously. That you just don't sleep, wake up and say, you will be this. But you know, you need to think through, because this is somebody's life. And whatever you name them speaks a lot to how they continue to embody who they are and you know, their identity, most importantly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think what I appreciated also from that episode was being an African is not about wearing a dashiki. Yeah. And wearing African regalia, you know, and saying, now I'm an African, you know, because it can come off as very performative. But also appreciating the wisdom in the ancestors as well, because we had a lot of wisdom and we knew a lot of things as Africans. Yeah, we understood the weather, we understood the climate, we understood when to do what and when not to do what.
The food,
you know, we knew
spirituality.
The spirituality aspect of it. Yeah. We had our own philosophies.
The economy,
right? Yeah, so it allowed me to also not see being an African as a performative thing, because especially for social media, and you know, we want to relate to Africanness,
because now that's what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, but to really appreciate it from that space of actually our people knew what they were doing. There was wisdom in it, and it made me want to have conversations with older generation and people who have been here, who still have access to that wisdom, and sit down and listen. So I feel like that's an episode that everyone should watch.
Yeah. Wow. And then we moved to the mental health and identity conversation. Where?
Yeah.
You guys really did throw a lot of jabs there.
At the mental health
Because
conversation.
Dr. Naitore was so calm, or rather, she is a very calm person. You know, jabs calmly.
Yes.
Self-diagnosis.
We talked about a lot, in terms of mental health. I mean, number one, we can't run away from the idea that mental health, not even the idea, the truth, that mental health today, and I'm sure it has mattered, but today it actually matters most, because there's a crisis of identity that also Dr. Naitore was able to bring about and tell us actually a lot of the issues that people are experiencing with challenges in their mental health can also really come from they don't know who they are, and they don't know how to build their identity and live by their own values, because of there's so many pressures that are also coming out from in this world today that we're living in. And it was really good to hear her share some of the ways to ground. If you've not watched the episode, please watch the episode. How to ground yourself, how to develop this identity, and why it should be done at a very early age as well, because she also works with a lot of young people, adolescents, and why that age also is very important, even as they prepare to launch into the world where the pressures even become more and more. So I loved that conversation, and also self-diagnosis, me.
Ati vile mnaenda huko sasa mnaanza kuambiwa you might be, and then you're so proud of your self-diagnosis,
and no one diagnosed you officially. And fine, trust your body, but also it's good to go to a professional.
Correct.
Yeah, get the support.
Okay, and then we were graced by our learned friend, Mutua.
Oh, Mutua.
With his how he lives his identity in the everyday.
First of all, Mutua will present to you not like a lawyer. Mutua will present to you like an artist.
Completely.
Right?
Completely. And then he throws there, I am in the whiskey club. You know, we were like, also.
Also.
I am a biker. Also.
So I don't know. I feel like with Mutua, we learned that identity is not just one thing. You know, the pressure of putting yourself in a box. Yeah. You can explore your interests and show up. And there are different values that you can get from these various interests that you are putting yourself in. Yeah, that you can pick up, that can be good for you. So I feel like for Mutua's episode, for me, it was like a license. Go out and be.
Yeah, and also how you can leverage on communities greatly.
Oh, yes, he definitely did touch on
Yes.
communities.
Yeah. So that as much as you're part of these different experiences, they also represent the different communities
you exist
you know,
in.
your social capital there. How can you leverage on that? It was really, really, really
I love
good.
that
Yeah.
episode. It was
And then
good.
we had a trip. We went all the way to
Oh, my.
Funzi. Hey, our journey to spirituality and identity. It was quite a journey.
Oh, Karim.
Yes. Kwanzaa, the planning, we were saying, when will it happen? We are not changing. It has to be the universe. It has to be that particular guest.
There's this idea that it has to be a perfect trip whereby we were like, we'll just use the resources that we have. Yeah, and go and get this story. And it was a beautiful experience. And this episode was by the beach.
This episode was it took 3 days. Can you do justice for it? Because it was like 1 day of eating and, getting acclimatized, seeing how well we are all connected to this conversation and aligned to even be the people that the universe has placed to have it on Tangawizi.
And I do feel like just the whole experience, going to shoot the episode with Karim wherever he was and experience him, to me, it was like whatever he taught on that episode is just who he is, basically. Yeah, there was the people like, hey, he just talks about spirituality, but on the ground, but it was a very good eye-opener because we asked questions. I think that we just prompted whoever is listening to that their questions are valid, the ones that they have, and they should continue with that quest of question.
Yeah. For me, it was the most life-changing conversation. I even feel like I'm tearing up now. It really challenged me. And I remember it was from that episode that I even grew a bit of confidence, not a bit, a lot, of swimming in the ocean.
Yeah,
actually. I challenged myself, and now I go for the waves.
Wait, those waves
Let me
are mad.
that it really challenged me because I mean, Karim was like, "What's the worst that can happen? You'll just float and find yourself in India." But again,
I'm like, that doesn't sound like the worst.
Yeah, and he was like, "But what do you really fear? You can swim, so." Why? And you can put that in the perspective of whatever is happening in your life personally. But that particular episode challenged me on set and off set
as well
as a human being. Yeah, it was quite something.
Yeah, you should go and watch that episode if you have like thoughts on spirituality and what it means to you. I think that would, and how you identify with it.
Yes,
would really be a good episode.
Yeah. And then we challenged ourselves to look at how sports does also add value or help us explore our identity. And we had, our very own Jamari.
I feel like this one was very personal to us,
yes.
Especially with the work that we do with the Lionesses. And just the previous work we've done with them, and how impactful it is, and also giving us, like you see the Lionesses playing on TV, but you don't know the experiences in the background and who these women are, where they're from, the challenges that they're experiencing, and the resilience that they've had to build because of the game and being in the game, and how that helps them build on their identity, and me, I came to appreciate people in sports generally
a lot more, and also for me, it gave us the validation. I think just having worked with them as sports women, and getting to also hear, because we were having this conversation post the program that we had initially had with them. And it also still gave me the spark that there's room for us to do so much more.
Yeah.
For women in sports. And
Indeed.
May the stars align.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, may the stars align. And then we had the work conversation with our very good friend. My namesake, Carolyne.
Carolyne.
Hey, she wasn't playing.
I mean, work also is personal because we're all working somewhere,
Correct. At any given time.
Exactly. We're all working somewhere, and then the environment that we work in is super key in influencing our success, in our careers, how we feel, and our mental health aspect or perspective. And for me, my takeaway from that episode was just, if you don't need to be a roadblock, don't be a roadblock. Actually, there's no reason why you're being a roadblock. And if you see that there's value in everyone, this idea that we are all competing for something that is very little, and why can't everyone just shine in what they're good at?
Yeah, and that, the work environment, we spend a lot of time there. So it's a collective for us to make it the most suitable workplace for all of us. Like,
exactly.
that is not any other person's responsibility. It's our collective. Yes, because we spend a lot of time there.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you can't be telling us, me at work I'm this person.
Then at home I'm this person. I'm
like,
just stand on business. Please be yourself.
Kuwa tu mtu mzuri.
Be yourself.
Yeah, please. And then we moved to the episode that blew the internet. I personally didn't think that would be the episode. For me, I thought like Afrocentricity would blow the internet.
But now,
then Madame herself, our super mentor, very dedicated to impact the lives of young girls in this country, Paulette, shows up on set.
One thing about Paulette that people don't know is just how pure Paulette's heart is.
Very.
Yeah. I think even just by rewatching the episodes, I am just inspired by the woman that she is and her heart. Yes. And even seeing her mentor young girls. And you're just like, that is one thing she's very committed to do. And I loved her authenticity because she did not change her story for the internet. She stood on business.
Alisema tu ni mimi.
Exactly.
Yeah. Haya ni matokeo ya ukweli.
It's true.
So you deal.
Deal with it.
Put me wherever you want to put me.
Yeah. And for those who haven't watched it, the conversation was on relationships.
Yes.
And how relationships can build on our identity.
Yes.
And because we're exposed to relationships, especially intimate relationships at a very young age, at 17, you're starting to have those types of conversations with your peers, sometimes even older people, which should not be happening. But because of our own lived experiences, these are things that are happening in society and in community. So her sharing that and how it was for her and the mistakes that she made during that time, it was very...
Yeah. And I think the other thing that came out of that when we look at relationships, she also brought back to us again the role of parents, the relationships we have with our parents. Because you could see how those relationships also came to play in her case, and how the mistakes that children make, sometimes how parents react can, present other experiences that can bring out other realities. It's like things were just... The matter was getting worse and worse in every relationship at home. Then she comes to her peers. Then with the other generation, we are relational beings. Anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think from this episode, what really came out from our viewers is we do value relationships because of how this episode was received. It's a value for Kenyans. Relationships are a value for Kenyans. And there's a lot of conversation around how should a relationship look like. And I feel like this is a space, the relationship space is a place that is always being defined and redefined by people because of the comments that we got on that post. One thing, according to...
You're treading on dangerous waters.
I'm okay with it because because we have an idea of how it should be, and then we have an idea of how it should not be, and then we also project that on other people.
Okay.
Yeah, and there was also a lot of judgment for Paulette online. So much judgment.
It actually gave me sleepless nights. And I remember, calling you and saying, okay, have you seen?
Yes.
Have you seen? And then you're like, okay, calm down. The internet is like that. Remember me and the internet and social media, we are not very good.
Exactly.
At that point, I'm like, guys, we're just trying to help us learn. Can you focus on the lessons? And you're like, calm down. Okay, what we need to do, let's talk to Paulette and understand how she's feeling.
Yeah.
I love that we enabled ourselves to exercise a lot of care as well to our guests. So it's not just another story.
No.
And I remember I called Paulette now. I'm like, Paulette, this is
what
how
is
the situation
happening.
is going. Do we pull it down? Because, even me, I wasn't ready for this, but Paulette is like, me, I'm just living my truth. What's wrong with you? Me, I'm okay.
I'm just being myself.
So those that are struggling are the ones that are typing whatever they're typing.
Yeah.
And it did motivate me as a person, to focus on the prize, and I'm not saying cyberbullying should not be addressed. We hope to also add our voice to it
that,
at some point. Yeah, but I loved the group. That Paulette was like, please.
Actually, we were the ones who were panicking.
I'm like, our life is over. We are closing this channel.
And it also made us think about like safeguarding our guests, because at the end of the day, they're getting all this energy because they came to the podcast.
Platform.
Yeah. So how it made us really think, like how will we prepare our guests in the event that this happens? How can we provide that aftercare? And that's the thing that we really wanted to offer. And also another thing that came out of that episode is a lot of people, especially online, projected that they've always known how to act in relationships, even as a 15-year-old, as a 16-year-old, as a 17-year-old. Like they always knew how the world perceived young women. They always knew how men perceived young women. But like
I'm about to do that thing.
And we're like, not true. Not true. It's not true. Yeah, did you know that it's a predatory world out there?
No.
Unless, and you see, the thing is, our parents did a good job at shielding us by telling us, don't go, don't do. But they didn't tell you how the world perceives a young woman.
No.
Me not how the world perceives me as a young woman. No. So
your episode ilikuwa moto.
Ni moto.
Yeah,
na
you
bado.
can still catch up with it if you
still
haven't.
online.
Yeah. And then now we had to, look at relationships as well on how men. Yeah, and we had Abu Bakr, the therapist, who came here and put his therapist hat on.
Yep.
Yes. And just told us how. Ni kama tu alisema wanaume ni wale.
Sasa pambaneni.
Kifua yangu ilishikana.
Lakini bibi hapo chest pains because mi sitapambana.
Alisema ndio wako hivyo. Ukimzoesha hivi, ujue ni hivyo. Yeah. So again, ni kama alituambia tukae rada. Na usijifanye something is okay while it's not. Like from when you're starting your relationship, you better be clear.
I appreciate that perspective because it's also a realistic perspective because sometimes not everyone is in a situation that they can change. You get? Like, yeah. So he basically just said, with your freedom, with your free will, either you choose this is your struggle or you choose to walk away. One or the other. That's a realistic way of viewing some of these issues in relationships. Yeah.
And how just men are closed up as well. That's the other thing I took away. Like they're not very easy to want to put their information out there, So I think it's something that we need to also support our men. That's also the other thing I felt strongly about, and we hope in Tangawizi. And then I think when we began Tangawizi, the journey and shooting, coincidentally, it was in June, the very first Maandamano. And we were shooting, we had our plan, and we went on with it. But, the revolution had started.
Yeah.
And then we find ourselves during the anniversary, and we ask ourselves the hard question, okay, we have a plan, but, are we dumb? Our eyes not open? We must talk about this.
Exactly.
This particular experience that we all have experienced as a country, as a nation. And that was the uncomfortable episode for me.
You. Yeah.
Yes, and we were graced by again. Kuria. Wakili alikuja hapa kupoesha. Lakini mimi nilikuwa natoka jasho, sitaki kukudanganya. that one I was almost not coming.
And the way I love that episode, honestly, because I really enjoyed Wakili's take on a lot of the issues. And he was able to show us that the things that all of us are asking for and demanding for, like, it's not in a vacuum. These things can be made possible. And it is okay that we want these things. It is fine to demand them. Yeah. Injecting, we assumed that not everyone was comfortable with injecting as openly. Yeah. Exactly.
In my head.
Yeah. And it's a valid concern because we lived in an atmosphere whereby those things were happening in those moments. So you don't know who is watching, who is listening, and also our platform, in respect of this platform, and being like, actually, yeah, we are not saying these things from the corners of our beds.
No. And also, the thing that actually motivated me to go on and show up for that conversation was that we can't be talking about young people selectively. We are talking about young people and how they are affected by unemployment or employment or the climate. And then, we just can't also talk about how the political, the social issues are. Okay, I felt like it is my responsibility not to be selective. I shouldn't be selective. If I'm looking at a young person, I should look at a young person holistically.
Yeah. And even the fact that these things are, in fact, affecting their identity and how they choose to show up in the world and the values that they are embodying. And we were also able to just talk about some of the amazing values that
were
from young people. And we were like, actually, these young folks are more impressive than we thought. Yeah.
Okay. And then we moved on swiftly back to the men again. And we had Pablo. Boy!
Pablo
broke the internet. Shook the set.
First of all, I am very appreciative of Pablo's authenticity and just how open and free he was with us. And also, can we talk about how what's this word? Someone that comes early, punctual.
What? 1 hour. Okay, I respect my time and others, but Pablo took that to
the
another
next level. Yeah. And I appreciated that, like he respected this podcast and came in an hour early. We had some time to talk about the episode. And crazy enough, when we were talking about the episode, he still had, he still kept some things that he wanted to just share for the episode.
Talk about a shocker. Never ready.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah, because we meet our guests, we have a conversation, we get to know each other. And most of the time, what we talk about is really what we talk about on the podcast.
Yes.
But for him, I don't know whether if he knew that's what he was
he's
gonna
a storyteller. He's a storyteller, so maybe he has. We have a lot of learning actually that we can still get from Pablo in storytelling because he kept some of the nuggets in the bag.
We never thought we'd need like tissues in the set. And then we were like, wow. But I am that was really, really, really amazing.
It was powerful
episode. And I would even urge the audience, like if you're a man out there and you feel like, you've been forced to start again because of situations or whatever is happening, I feel like that's an episode that could speak to you and inspire you to, like, you can get unstuck and you can start again at any point, at any age, at any time. Like there's nothing stopping you. Yeah.
Hey, hats off. Yeah. And then came Drake.
Oh, Drake.
Drake alikanyaga shimo.
Drake alikanyaga. Alikanyaga line ya steam.
You met me any the way I look at Bongo Flavor. I don't look at it the same way, guys.
But I appreciate Drake's episode because for me, it brought out the importance of mentorship for young men.
Oh,
yeah. And the importance of other men holding the hands of younger men and telling them, actually, this is how to go about certain situations. Yeah, it was not about having a man who's known how to navigate laughing at other younger men making mistakes. Actually, it just highlighted why mentorship is important, why men need to go through classes of this, they call it initiation classes.
Yes.
Yeah, and taught how to be men. And for women, for us women, I feel like we're always together and we're always being
we are standing on business.
Exactly.
Quite well.
But for men, sometimes a boy can get lost if no one is holding their hand. Yeah.
Hey, Drake was very bold and for the good work he's doing with men out there. Yeah. Thumbs up. Yeah.
And also, like, another thing that came in from the viewers was some of the perspectives he brought out. It seemed like not all men. So they felt like he blanketed. Yeah, like statements like men lack initiative. So hiyo iligusa mtu roho.
Nafikiri kuna wale ambao kweli hawana initiative.
Kweli,
na kuna wale wako na initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also feel that sometimes when you have conversations and people feel uncomfortable, there's something there. If we continue unpacking, there's something there. Yeah.
There's definitely something there. And that's the thing. We want the conversations to keep going. Actually, to argue and say, actually, men do have initiative and this is how it looks like. Yeah, because, and even for those that don't have initiative, unpack, why don't they have initiative and how can they be supported? Yeah.
Mambo ilichemka hapo
lakini kanyaga
watu wa bongo ni sawa.
Sema hiyo Alejandro mwake kando.
We are working on it. And then we were graced, with the young therapist Wamaitha.
Wamaitha.
Yeah.
Wamaitha, close to my heart.
Wamaitha came in later, but very well connected to Alia. You know how she tied in the different generations as well in her conversation?
Yeah. Wamaitha has a way of speaking that inspires you and educates you at the same time. And it's a way that shows I feel like she sees humanity. That's what came to me.
Yeah, I think for her, humanness is at the center.
It's
the human first, and then now we can.
The other factors,
And for me, what inspires me or continues to inspire me the most is how present Wamaitha is. Because even the intervention she shared that day of how she's supporting all of us navigating this very treacherous political period. I mean,
I think
such a selfless person.
Very selfless. And also, like, even the content that she puts out on her social media makes you feel seen and validates your experience. Yeah, like when all of us are going through this turmoil as a country and dealing with what we are dealing with, you realize that no one is vocalizing what the collective feeling, the collective atmosphere, and how to navigate that. Yeah, the feelings of, we've tried, we've done our best, but nothing is changing. We are trying to lose hope, things like that. So she's able to validate those feelings and provide us with tools on how to navigate going through those emotions. So thank you, Wamaitha.
Yeah. And our young people are safe in the hands of the emerging younger therapists, really. The future is secure.
It's secure.
Very secure.
Yes, very secure.
And as we neared our 1 year mark, the Youth Month, they fell us. We were like, whoa, it's in August, we are in the Youth Month. And we are like, okay, the theme this year is on collaborations.
Yes.
What a better way to have this conversation.
And
then we had this amazing young man join us on set.
This, if there's anything they've sparked
from high class water,
is we are starting businesses,
and we are starting together,
and we are partnering with these businesses, and we are having hope in one another, and we can be our own. We can provide solutions to our own problems in our own communities. Sometimes the problem that you need to solve is right there in your home, in your estate, looking right at you, and you can be someone that can provide a solution in that space. And these people that, it's interesting because we started the conversation with the intergenerational breakdown, right?
Yes.
And then we closed the episodes with an intergenerational collaboration. That's
I had not looked at it like that. Ah, nice.
So basically, I feel like what we said is there is room and space for collaboration and learning and support. We can all support one another to solve a problem in community.
Wow. So that has been us.
12 months.
12 months. Amazing conversation.
Amazing conversation.
I hope you can reflect with us and celebrate with us. Tangawizi at 1.
Tangawizi at 1. I am so impressed. I remembered all those episodes. It's like you get even different short snippets in your head. Make sure you catch the episodes. See you on the next one. Bye.